Hello, good day. How are you today? You're good, right? Okay, are you ready for today's lesson? You are? That is good. So, today in agricultural science, we are going to be learning about early development of world agriculture. Okay? Today's lesson will be on early development of world agriculture. Are we ready? Good. Agriculture is one of the most important innovations in human history. It transformed the way people lived from nomadic hunter-gatherers to settled farmers. Let's explore how agriculture developed through four key stages, okay? The Paleolithic era, the Mesolithic era, the Neolithic era, and the Agrarian Revolution. We are going to be looking at how agriculture has developed through these four key stages. Okay? First, the Paleolithic era. This era, often referred to as the Old Stone Age, spans from approximately 2.6 million years ago to around 10,000 BC. During this period, early human societies were primarily hunter-gatherers, relying on the gathering of wild plants and the hunting of animals for sustenance. Agriculture had not yet developed, and humans lived a nomadic lifestyle, moving from place to place in search of food. The Paleolithic era is also called Old Stone Age, was a time from about 2.6 million years ago to 10,000 BC. People were hunter-gatherers, relying on hunting animals and gathering wild plants for survival. Agriculture didn't exist yet, and people lived in small groups, moving from place to place. Okay? Next, the Mesolithic era. The Mesolithic era, also known as the Middle Stone Age, followed the Paleolithic era and lasted from around 10,000 BC to 8,000 BC. During this time, there was a gradual transition from purely hunting and gathering to more sedentary lifestyles. Some experimentation with plant cultivation and animal domestication likely occurred, but it was not yet a full-fledged agricultural system. Okay, following the Paleolithic era, the Mesolithic era, Middle Stone Age, lasted from about 10,000 BC to 8,000 BC. This era saw a shift towards a more settled lifestyle, with some early experiments in plant cultivation and animal domestication. Okay? Next, the Neolithic era. The Neolithic era, or New Stone Age, began around 8000 BC and continued for several millennia. It is characterized by the development of agriculture, including the cultivation of crops like wheat, barley, and legumes, and the domestication of animals such as sheep, goats, and cattle. This shift to agriculture marked a significant turning point in human history, as people began to settle in one place, forming villages, and later more complex societies. The Neolithic era, from about 8000 BC onwards, is when farming really began. People learned to plant crops like wheat and raised animals like cows. They built villages and stayed put instead of wandering. Okay? Next is the Agrarian Revolution. The Agrarian Revolution, also known as the Agricultural Revolution, refers to the widespread adoption of agriculture that occurred during the Neolithic era. It led to a surplus of food, which allowed for population growth, the development of specialized labor, and the formation of early civilization. The cultivation of crops and the raising of livestock became the foundation of human society, and it laid the groundwork for the development of more advanced agricultural practices in the subsequent eras. Okay? During the Neolithic era, there was a big change called the Agrarian Revolution. Okay? So remember, we said we're looking at agriculture evolving through four key stages, right? Good. Talked about the Paleolithic era, which is also called the Old Stone Age, right? Where people were hunter-gatherers relying on hunting animals and gathering wild plants for survival. Agriculture didn't exist yet, and people lived in small groups, moving from place to place. They didn't farm or stay in one place, they moved around. Then we talked about the Mesolithic era. After the Paleolithic era, people started to live in one place often. They began to experiment with growing plants and taking care of animals. Then the Neolithic era. It is when farming really began. People learned to plant crops like wheat and raise animals like cows. They built villages and stayed put. Then the Agrarian Revolution. During the Neolithic era, it brought a significant change. Agriculture led to food surpluses, allowing for the growth of population and development of specialized jobs. This was the foundation of early civilization and advanced agricultural practices. So these stages have showed us how farming has developed, leading to bigger and more organized communities and shaping the way we live today, right? Okay, so we understood today's lesson on early development of world agriculture, right? Good. We talked about the Paleolithic era, Mesolithic era, the Neolithic era, and the Agrarian Revolution. And we understood everything on that, right? That is good. So now we are going to be looking at our assignments. Okay? I'm sure we are going to be able to do our assignment. Discuss on the early development of world agriculture. We talked about it in today's lesson, right? That's good.